everybody.
Good evening.
There's a secret back here for a second.
Welcome to our special reading of 1001 Nights,
which we are doing from the presidential suite of
the Grand Hotel in Vienna, which is also celebrating a huge birthday. This hotel has been around for 150 years. So happy birthday to the Grand Hotel and to the entire team that is hosting us, I would say.
Thank you very much. We're very, very grateful to be here. We are going to be reading the Richard Burton. Thank you very much for the likes and the hearts, everybody. We are reading to you the Richard Burton translation of 1001 Nights. Was that correct? And actually, we have a celebration coming up too. Next month, we will have been reading 1001 Nights. So how many years, Saman?
For 1 year.
For 1 whole year. So literally on the 20th of March last year, we started reading the 1001 Nights book in the first lockdown because of this pandemic that's going on. My name is Joanna Godwin-Seidl.
And my name is Saman Giraud, and we'll be both being hosting you actually tonight.
We will. And we have some thank yous to say, don't we?
Exactly. As usual, we're always full of gratitude.
Full of gratitude.
Do you want to start?
Should I start? No, you start.
Okay. We would first obviously thank the team of the Grand Hotel Vienna. Then we would like to thank the designer of these exquisite gowns.
Exquisite.
Maurizio Giambra in Vienna.
Yes, very beautiful.
Yes.
We love them.
And also Sue Vienna for the jewels. Every person we name or every company that is partnering up with us will be tagged in our Facebook, so if you're interested in the shops, you can look it up later.
And if you live in Vienna, you can definitely go and visit those shops. And if you don't live in Vienna, you could probably contact them online and ask them to send you anything that you like. We would also like to thank some people who have been very, very helpful and are always very helpful in all of our endeavours. We would like to thank Mustafa for the COVID tests.
Yes.
Yes, we would like to thank Ine&Thomas Photography for the beautiful photographs that they took today.
Dorretta Carter.
Yeah, Dorretta Carter, because Dorretta Carter is our style guru, so everything you see, Dorretta helps us choose. And we would also like to thank Gernot, who helps us with poster design and layouting and stuff like that. So,
exactly. And without further ado,
we have chocolates.
Oh, I thought we were doing this later.
Yes, but we are, but we need to tell people to stay
on. Yes, oh my God. We have a surprise for you.
We do. Coming to you on a flying carpet to whatever city in the world this evening, we have special gifts to give away, because what is next week?
It's Valentine's Day, guys.
Valentine's Day.
So we would like to gift you. We have 3 boxes of beautiful Belgicatessen pralines that we can send you, as Joanna said, via flying carpet, wherever you are in the world. However, there is one catch to it. We are going to ask you 3 questions at the end of this reading, so please tune in and stay here with us. And whoever can answer these questions, there's going to be a raffle. We're going to pick 3 names and send you the chocolate ASAP.
Exactly. And if you get all of them wrong, Saman and I and the gents who are going to play for in a minute are going to eat them. So we don't mind if you get all of them wrong, we're just saying. Thank you very much also to Belgicatessen for the treat of the 3 boxes of chocolates coming your way on a flying carpet if you answer the questions at the end of the show.
And without further ado, as Joanna usually says, we would like to introduce our musical director Kamyab Saderi, who is going to perform tonight with Bijan Dekordi. Enjoy the music, guys, and we'll see you in a bit for the reading.
We will.
Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Good evening. Always our place is hard for playing because it's especially for reading and what we play. And I hope you enjoy.
To play for you guys and خیلی خوشحالم که دوستان فارسی زبونم من دارن میبینن لایو ما رو. I said Persian, and yeah, I hope you enjoy our music. The name of this song is Hight.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we forget to say the name.
Muhammad. Yeah. And next song, it's you. It's you and this the poem from it's from Nima Yushij, and we play it for you, and I hope you enjoy.
شبانگام که میگه در شاخ دلاجن سایان رنگ سیاهی و زان دل خستگان را صندوقی فراهم تو را من چشم نرام تو را من چشم در راه شبانگام در آن دم که بر جادرها چو مرد ماران خفتگان در آن نوبت که بندد دست نیلوفر به پای سرو دام را گرم یاد آوری یا نه من از یادت نمی کنم تو را من چشم در راهم تو را من چشم در راهم تو را من چشم در راه
Come to read.
Wasn't that beautiful?
Very beautiful. We're so lucky. It's so beautiful just to watch them. Are you coffee?
Now when it was the 300th night, quoth Dunyazad, "Favor us, O my sister, with thy tale." And she replied, "With joy and goodwill, if the king accord me leave." Whereupon the king said, "Tell thy tale, O Shahrazad." So she pursued, "It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that the youth said to the caliph, 'The lady Zubaydah kisseth the earth before thee, and saith to thee, Thou knowest she hath bidden make this crown, which lacketh a great jewel for its dome top. And she hath made search among her treasures, but cannot find a jewel of size to suit her mind. Quoth the Caliph to his chamberlains and vice-regents, make search for a great jewel such as Zubaydah desireth. So they sought, but found nothing befitting her, and told the Caliph, who, vexed and annoyed thereat, exclaimed, how am I Caliph, and king of the kings of the earth, and cannot find so small a matter as a jewel? Woe to you! Ask of the merchants. So they inquired of the traders, who replied, our lord the Caliph will not find a jewel such as he requireth, save with a man of Bassorah, by name Abu Muhammad Hight Lazybones. Thereupon they acquainted the Caliph with this, and he bade his vizier Jafar send a note to the emir Mohammed al-Zubaydi, governor of Bassorah, commanding him to equip Abu Muhammad Lazybones and bring him into the presence of the commander of the faithful. The minister accordingly wrote a note to that effect and dispatched it by Masrur, who set out forthright for the city of Bassorah and went in to the emir Mohammed al-Zubaydi, who rejoiced in him and treated him with the highmost honor. Then Masrur read him the mandate of the Prince of True Believers, Harun al-Rashid, to which he replied, I hear and I obey, and forthwith dispatched him with a company of his followers to Abu Muhammad's house. When they reached it, they knocked at the door, whereupon a page came out, and Masrur said to him, tell thy lord, the commander of the faithful summoneth thee. The servant went in and told his master, who came out and found Masrur, the Caliph's chamberlain, and a company of the governor's men at the door. So he kissed ground before Masrur and said, I hear and obey the summons of the commander of the faithful. But first, enter ye my house. They replied, we cannot do that, save in haste, even as the Prince of True Believers commanded us, for he awaiteth thy coming. But he said, have patience with me a little, till I set my affairs in order. So after much pressure and abundant persuasion, they entered the house with him, and found the vestibule hung with curtains of azure brocade, purfled with red gold. And Abu Muhammad Lazybones bade one of his servants carry Masrur to the private hammam. Now this bath was in the house, and Masrur found its walls and floors of rare and precious marbles, wrought with gold and silver, and its waters mingled with rose water. Then the servants served Masrur and his company with the perfection of service, and on their going forth of the hammam, clad them in robes of honor, brocade work interwoven with gold. And after leaving the bath, Masrur and his man went in to Abu Muhammad Lazybones and found him seated in his upper chamber, and over his head hung curtains of gold brocade, wrought with pearls and jewels, and the pavilion was spread with cushions embroidered in red gold. Now the owner was sitting softly upon a quilted cloth, covering a settee inlaid with stones of price. And when he saw Masrur, he went forward to meet him, and bidding him welcome, seated him by his side. Then he called for the food trays, so they brought them, and when Masrur saw the tables, he exclaimed, by Allah, never did I behold the like of these appointments in the palace of the commander of the faithful. For indeed the trades contained every manner of meat, all served in dishes of gilded porcelain. So we ate and drank and made merry till the end of the day, quoth Masrur, when the host gave to each and every of us 5,000 dinars. And on the morrow he clad us in dresses of honor of green and gold, and entreated us with the utmost worship. Then said Masrur to him, we can tarry no longer for fear of the Caliph's displeasure. Answered Abu Muhammad Lazybones, O my lord, have patience with us till the morrow, that we may equip ourselves, and we will then depart with you. So they tarried with him that day, and slept the night. And next morning Abu Muhammad's servants saddled him with a she-mule, with selle and trappings of gold, set with all manner of pearls and stones of price. Whereupon quoth Masrur to himself, I wonder, when Abu Muhammad shall present himself in such equipage, if the Caliph will ask him how he came by all this wealth. Thereupon they took leave of Al-Zubayri, and setting out from Bassorah, fare on, without ceasing to fare till they reached Baghdad city, and presented themselves before the Caliph, who bade Abu Muhammad be seated. He sat down and addressed the Caliph in courtly phrase, saying, O Commander of the Faithful, I have brought with me an humble offering by way of homage. Have I thy gracious permission to produce it? Al-Rashid replied, there is no harm in that. Whereupon Abu Muhammad bade his men bring in a chest, from which he took a number of rarities, and amongst the rest, trees of gold with leaves of white emerald, and fruits of pigeon blood rubies, and topazes, and new pearls and bright. And as the Caliph was struck with admiration, he fetched a second chest, and brought out of it a tent of brocade, crowned with pearls and jacinths, and emeralds and jaspers, and other precious stones. Its poles were of freshly cut Hindi aloes wood, and its skirts were set with the greenest emeralds. Thereon were depicted all manner of animals, such as beasts and birds, spangled with precious stones, rubies, emeralds, chrysolites, and balasses, and every kind of precious metal. Now when Al-Rashid saw these things, he rejoiced with exceeding joy. And Abu Muhammad Lazybones said to him, O Commander of the Faithful, deem not that I have brought these to thee, fearing aught or coveting anything. But I knew myself to be but a man of the people, and that such things befitted none save the Commander of the Faithful. And now, with thy leave, I will show thee for thy diversion something of what I can do. Al-Rashid replied, do what thou wilt, that we may see. To hear is to obey, said Abu Muhammad, and moving his lips, beckoned the palace battlements, whereupon they inclined to him. Then he made another sign to them, and they returned to their place. Presently he made a sign with his eye, and there appeared before him closets with closed doors, to which he spoke, and lo, the voices of birds answered him from within. The Caliph marveled with passing marvel at this, and said to him, how camest thou by all this, seeing that thou art known only as Abu Muhammad Lazybones? And they tell me that thy father was a cupper, serving in a public hammam, who left thee nothing? Whereupon he answered, listen to my story. And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day, and ceased saying her permitted say.
Now, when it was the and first night. She said, "It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that Abu Mohammed Lazybones thus spoke to the Caliph. O Prince of True Believers, listen to my story, for it is a marvellous, and its particulars are wondrous. Were it graven with graven needles upon the eye corners, it were a warner to whoso would be warned." Quoth Al-Rashid, "Let me hear all thou hast to say, O Abu Mohammed." So he began, "Know then, O Commander of the Faithful, Allah prolong to thee glory and dominion, the report of the folk that I am known as the Lazybones, and that my father left me nothing, is it true? For he was, as thou said, nothing but a barber cupper in a hammam, and I, throughout my youth, was the idlest wight on the face of the earth. Indeed, so great was my sluggishness that, if I lay at full length in the sultry season and the sun came round upon me, I was too lazy to rise and remove from the sun to the shade. And thus I abode till I reached my 15th year, when my father deceased in the mercy of Allah Almighty and left me nothing. However, my mother used to go out a-sharing and feed me and gave me to drink while I lay on my sidle. Now it came to pass that one day she came in to me with 5 silver dirhams and said to me, "O my son, I hear that Sheikh Abu al-Mustafa is about to go a voyage to China." Now, this sheikh was a good man and a charitable man who loved the poor. So, come, O my son, take these 5 silver bits and let us both carry them to him and beg him to buy thee therewith somewhat from the land of China. So haply thou mayest make a profit of it by the bounty of Allah, whose name be exalted. I was too idle to move for her, but she swore by the Almighty that, except I rose and went with her, she would bring me neither meat nor drink, nor come into me, but would leave me to die of hunger and thirst. Now, when I heard her words, O Commander of the Faithful, I knew she would do as she threatened, for her knowledge of my sluggishness. So I said to her, "Help me to sit up." She did so, and I wept a while, and I said to her, "Bring me my shoes." Accordingly, she brought them, and I said, "Put them on my feet." She put them on my feet, and I said, "Lift me up off the ground." So she lifted me up, and I said, "Support me that I may walk." So she supported me, and I continued to fare afoot, at times stumbling over my skirts, till we came to the river bank, where we saluted the sheikh, and I said to him, "Oh, my uncle, art thou Abu al-Mustafa?" "At thy service," answered he, and I, "Take these dirhams, with them buy me somewhat from the land of China. Haply Allah may vouchsafe me a profit of it." Quoth the sheikh to his companions, "Do ye know this youth?" They answered, "Oh, yes. He is known as Abu Mohammed Lazybones, and we never saw him stir from his house till this moment." Then said he to me, "O my son, give me the silver with the blessing of Almighty Allah." So he took the money, saying, "Bismillah, in the name of Allah," and I returned home with my mother. Presently, Sheikh Abu al-Mustafa set sail with a company of merchants, and stayed not till they reached the land of China, where he and his bought and sold, and having won what they wished, set out on their homeward voyage. When they had been 3 days at sea, the sheikh said to his company, Stay the vessel. They asked, what dost thou want? And he answered, know that I have forgotten the commission wherewith Abu Mohammed Lazybones charged me. So let us turn back, that we may lay out his money on somewhat whereby he may profit. They cried, we conjure thee by Allah Almighty, turn not back with us, for we have traversed a long distance and a sore, and while doing we have endured sad hardship and many terrors. Quoth he, there is no help for it, but we return. And they said, take from us double the profit of the 5 dirhams and turn us not back. He agreed to this, and they collected for him an ample sum of money. Thereupon they sailed on, till they came to an island wherein was much people. When they moored thereto, and the merchants went ashore to buy thence a stock of precious metals, and pearls, and jewels, and so forth. Presently, Abu al-Mustafa saw a man seated with many apes before him, and amongst them was one whose hair had been plucked off. As often as their owner's attention was diverted from them, the other apes fell upon the plucked one and beat him and threw him on their master. Whereupon the man rose and bashed them and bound them and punished them for this. And all the apes were wroth with the plucked ape on this account, and tundered him the more. When Sheikh Abu al-Mustafa saw this, he felt for and took compassion on the plucked ape, and said to his master, wilt thou sell me yonder monkey? Replied the man, buy. And Abu al-Mustafa rejoined, I have with me 5 dirhams belonging to an orphan lad. Wilt thou sell it to me for that sum? Answered the monkey merchant, it is a bargain, and Allah give thee a blessings of him. So he made over the beast and received his money. And the sheikh's slaves took the ape and tied him up in the ship. Then they loosed sail and made for another island, where they cast anchor. And there came down divers who plunged for precious stones, pearls, and other gems. So the merchants hired them to dive for money, and they dived. Now, when the ape saw them doing this, he loosed himself from his bonds and, jumping off the ship's side, plunged with them. Whereupon quoth Abu al-Mustafa, there is no majesty and there is no might save in Allah, the glorious, the great. The monkey is lost to us with the luck of the poor fellow for whom we bought him. And they despaired of him. But after a while, the company of divers rose to the surface, and behold, among them was the ape, with his hands full of jewels of price, which he threw down before Abu al-Mustafa. The sheikh marveled at this and said, there is much mystery in this monkey. Then they cast off and sailed till they came to a 3rd island, called the Isle of the Sunuj, who are a people which eat the flesh of the sons of Adam. When these people saw them, they boarded them in dugouts, and taking all in the vessel, pinioned them and carried them to their king, who bade slaughter certain of the merchants. So they slaughtered them by cutting their throats and ate their flesh. And the rest of the traders passed the night in bonds and were in sore concern. But when it was midnight, the ape arose and going to Abu al-Mustafa, loosed his bonds, and as the others saw him free, they said, Allah grant our deliverance may be at thy hands, O Abu al-Mustafa. But he replied, no, that he who delivered me by the leave of Allah Almighty was none other than this monkey. And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased saying her permitted say.
Now when it was the 302nd night, she said, it hath reached me, O auspicious king, that Abu al-Muzaffar declared, none loosed me by leave of Allah Almighty save this monkey, and I buy my release of him at 1,000 dinars. Whereupon the merchants rejoined, and we likewise, each and every, will pay him 1,000 dinars if he releases us. With this, the ape arose and went up to them, and loosed their bond, one by one, till he had freed them all, when they made for the vessel, and boarding her, found all safe, and nothing missing from her. So they cast off and set sail, and presently Abu al-Muzaffar said to them, O merchants, fulfill your promise to the monkey. We hear and we obey, answered they, and each one paid him 1,000 dinars, whilst Abu al-Muzaffar brought out to him the like sum of his own monies, so that a great heap of coin was collected for the ape. And they fared on till they reached Bassorah city, where their friends came out to meet them. And when they had landed, the sheikh said, where is Abu Mohammed Lazybones? The news reached my mother, who came to me as I lay asleep, and said to me, O my son, verily the sheikh Abu al-Muzaffar hath come back and is now in the city. So rise and go thou to him and salute him and inquire what he hath brought thee. It may be Allah Almighty have opened to thee the door of fortune with somewhat. Quoth I, lift me from the ground and prop me up, whilst I go forth and walk to the river back. After which I went out and walked on, stumbling over my skirts, till I met the sheikh, who exclaimed at sight of me, welcome to him whose money hath been the means of my release, and that of these merchants by the will of Almighty Allah. Then he continued, take this monkey I bought for thee, and carry him home, and wait till I come to thee. So I took the ape and went off, saying in my mind, by Allah, this is naught but rare merchandise, and led it home, where I said to my mother, whenever I lie down to sleep, thou biddest me rise and trade. See now this merchandise with thine own eyes. Then I sat me down, and I said, up came the slaves of Abu al-Muzaffar, and said to me, art thou Abu Mohammed Lazybones? Yes, answered I. And behold, Abu al-Muzaffar appeared behind them. So I rose up to him and kissed his hands, and he said, come with me to my home. Hearkening and obedience, answered I, and accompanied him to his house, where he bade his servants bring me what money the monkey had earned for me. So they brought it, and he said to me, O my son, Allah hath blessed thee with his wealth by way of profit of thy 5 dirhams. Then the slaves set down the treasure in chests, which they had carried on their heads, and Abu al-Muzaffar gave me the keys, saying, go before the slaves to thy house, for in sooth all this wealth is thine. So I returned to my mother, who rejoiced in this and
said to me, "Oh, my son, Allah hath blessed thee with all these riches. So put off thy laziness and go down to the bazaar and sell and buy." At once I shook off my dull sloth and opened a shop in the bazaar, where the ape used to sit on the same divan with me, eating with me when I ate and drinking when I drank. But every day he was absent from dawn till noon, when he came back bringing with him a purse of 1,000 dinars, which he laid by my side and sat down. He ceased not doing so for a great while, till I amassed much wealth, wherewith, O Commander of the Faithful, I purchased houses and lands, and I planted gardens, and I bought me slaves and concubines. Now, it came to pass one day, as I sat in my shop with the ape sitting at my side on the same carpet, behold, he began to turn right and left. And I said to myself, "What aileth thee, beast?" Then Allah made the ape speak with a ready tongue, and he said to me, "Oh, Abu Muhammad, now." Oh, when I heard him speak, I was sore afraid. But he said to me, "Oh, fear not, I will tell thee my case. I am a marid of the jinn, and came to thee because of thy poor estate. But today thou knowest not the amount of thy wealth, and now I have need of thee. If thou do my will, it shall be well for thee." I asked, "What is it?" And he answered, "I have a mind to marry thee to a girl like the full moon." Quoth I, "How so?" Quoth he, "Tomorrow don thy richest dress and mount thy mule with the saddle of gold and ride to the Haymarket. There inquire for the shop of the Sharif and sit down beside him and say to him, 'I come to thee as a suitor craving thy daughter's hand.' If he say to thee, 'Thou hast cash nor rank nor family,' pull out 1,000 dinars and give them to him. And if he ask more, give him more and tempt him with money." Whereto I replied, "Well, to hear is to obey. I will do thy bidding, inshallah." So, on the next morning, I donned my richest clothes, mounted my she-mule with trappings of gold, and rode to the Haymarket, where I asked for the Sharif's shop, and finding him there seated, alighted and saluted him, and seated myself beside him. And Scheherazade perceived the dawn of day and ceased, saying her permitted say.
wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
We hope you enjoy the reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. We would like to get to our little gift. So if you are still around for our little gift,
our little magic carpet, going to be flown to you wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter the continent, the magic carpet is going to bring 3 of these
let me show them
to any listener. There you go.
Look
the
at
magic
that.
carpet is going to bring, and they are for Valentine's Day. They are Valentine's hearts. And I have to say, Lucas from Belgicatessen sent me a box of these about a month ago, and I promise you, they were yummy and gorgeous and sumptuous and So,
And if you'd like a box, we have 3 boxes for you.
We do.
3 people can have a box of pralines for Valentine's Day, which is around the corner. So here are our 3 questions.
yes, we have
You
3
need-
questions you have to answer.
You need to answer all of them correctly. So we are starting now. So we hope you have a pen. And once you're done, please send us a private message on Vienna Theatre Facebook projects page. And we will get back in touch
Yeah,
with
exactly.
you.
You can just put it. We just said that they will put it at the bottom of this.
Oh, in the comments, yes.
Yeah, in the comments. So
I'm
put your
sorry.
answer. That's
Put
okay.
it just in the
Put your
comments.
answer in the comments, and the first 20 answers that we get, they have to be right answers. And I tell you, everybody, the questions are so difficult.
Yes,
Very
let's
difficult.
start.
We had a hard time. So the first 20, we will take the names, we'll stick it in a raffle, we'll
Pick them.
take 3 names out, maybe the gents will take 3 names out, and then we will announce Monday or Tuesday who the winners are. And these people we will contact privately on Facebook. Please do not give any of your private email addresses, telephone numbers, etc. on Facebook. We will contact you privately, tell you that you've won, get your address,
Yes.
and then those boxes will come to you on the flying carpet.
Okay.
Very difficult question.
So
Are
let's
you ready?
continue with the questions. Question number 1.
Okay, so question number 1. It's very, very difficult. It is, if you remember my New Year's Eve reading, one of my favorite stories that we started at the very beginning when we started reading 1001 Nights Difficult. How many ladies are there in my favorite story of the porter and the 3 ladies of Baghdad?
Question number 2. How many nights are in the book of 1001 Nights?
That's difficult.
Question number
Question
3.
number 3. Who is the author of this translation of 1001 Nights?
All right. We're going to repeat the questions one more time, just in case. Question number 1.
How many ladies in my favorite story, the porter and the 3 ladies of Baghdad?
Question number 2. How many nights are in the book of 1001 Nights?
Question number 3. Who is the author of this translation that we are reading of 1001 Nights?
So thank you all for tuning in. Thanks again to the Grand Hotel in Vienna for hosting us.
Thank you to all of our partners.
Maurizio Giambra, Labor Mustafa for the COVID test.
Exactly, the jewels.
Yes, Sue Vienna, thank you so much, and our wonderful team. Thanks a
Dorretta,
lot, Dorretta Carter,
Ine&Thomas, and Gerna.
and we will see you next week for our regular readings.
And thank you always for listening in. For those of you who've been listening in for a whole year, well done. To everybody who joins us, it is a huge pleasure for us to read
Yes.
these stories to you. We really do enjoy it very, very much.
So we're going to leave you with Kamyab and Bijan to play some more of their beautiful music, which they composed only for this reading of ours.
Yeah, so,
So-
an album will be coming out soon. And don't forget, next week is Valentine's. So remember that. And in a month's time, we are going to have another special reading, a bit longer than over a month, to celebrate
Our 1 year anniversary.
Our 1 year anniversary.
Which
so
will
in 1
announce
month.
though. Yes,
Yes,
in
we
advance.
will. We will announce. So
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
have a
Thanks
wonderful
lot.
night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in. And
And as
stay
usual-
for the last few songs from Kamyab and Bijan.
And as usual, remember to go inwards instead of outwards.
And many blessings from me.
Good night, everyone. Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Hello again. Okay, we have
Again.
2 more songs.
Yeah.
The first one, the name is Dard Bi Darman. I really like that. Okay, when you're ready.
Mhm.
درد بی درمان شنیدی حال من یعنی همین بی تو بودن درد دارد میزند من را زمین میزند بی تو مرا این خاطرات روز و شب درد پیگیر من است سبول علاج یعنی همین درد بی درمان شنیدی حال من یعنی همین بی تو بودن درد دارد میزند مرا زمین میزند بی تو مرا این خاطرات روز و شب درد پیگیر من است زبان علاج یعنی
One more song. Yeah.
2131.
Okay. 2131.
Yeah, it's from Office.
No,
No?
from Molevi.
Mustafa, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
We are so
it's my
nice now.
mistake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Far from home and
Aww.
forget the name of writer. Okay.
But it's really jazz, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2.
بیگانه کن هم خانه را ویرانه کن وانگه بیا ای عاشقا پروانه شو پروانه شو دیوانه شو دیوانه شو در دل آتش را پروانه شو پروانه شو
Goodbye.